everybody, it's Karen.
Mary, hi.
I'm Beth.
From Fine Lines. It's good to see you all. I'm happy to be here. Hope everybody's doing well. We've got lots to talk about, so we've decided to touch on a couple of things today. One of them being, or the main one being, menopause and what we go through, different stages in the game, different people. Everybody has different everything's different symptoms, different all of it. So we know that it's going to touch some people some way and other people in other ways. We want to answer a few questions that we've been asked, and one of them will tie into that. And it's about self-esteem and you're losing yourself and your confidence and all the rest of it, which does tend to happen with menopause. So we're going to start the conversation. We're just going to kind of roll with it and see what comes. And hopefully we get some of your questions answered. Let us know if there's anything else you want us to talk about. And we probably will have a part 2 to this, just because there's so much to cover with this fun time in our life.
Yeah.
But on that note, don't get us wrong. It's pretty awesome too. So,
Great.
all right. As far as self-esteem goes, I don't know who wants to start with where we're feeling, where we're at right now, or we want me to keep going with this?
Well, yeah, and I think important what we all touched on was the part of where you start feeling invisible as we're aging and such, and then to in conjunction with your body and hormones going through this like huge tidal wave of changes, in conjunction with starting to feel invisible, right? So it's like this sort of I'll just talk to where I like about 10 years before menopause started losing a lot of blood, like to the point where I almost needed blood transfusions. That in conjunction with what was going on in my personal life or in my pushing me into a place where, my health, I never worried about anything like that. It was just sort of, I didn't even think it was menopause. I just kind of, at those times when you have children and you have a husband and family and work, you're so consumed with making sure everybody else is okay. It's like all of a sudden your body kind of starts saying, I got to start paying attention. So take that into, then going through separation and all of those sort of things. You're
not a fun time.
Not a fun time.
No.
Your body's also changing, right? And trying to identify who you really are, those sort of things. And what I felt sort of started happening was like this veil started coming off. So where I felt like all my emotions were muted, or in check, I felt like all of a sudden there was, all these things that I just like, what I liked, what I didn't like.
It started to become clearer.
Before you no longer have patience for.
All of that stuff. Yes, absolutely. It's just like this kind of uncorked place that I started feeling. That's sort of how it felt for me in conjunction.
Well, life doesn't stop for us, unfortunately, to have to go through all of what we go through. The world keeps spinning. So for us to find ways to adapt and learn and grow and accept. And I mean, I fought it. I didn't know what exactly was happening, but the things that came with menopause, the heat part, that feeling heated thing, which everyone laughs about, and it's hot flashes, and my hair has to get clipped up, and I'm wearing a tank top in the middle of winter and standing outside in the snow, and it's all something that we can and laugh about, but it's a real thing that is just so frustrating. I know some people get to the extreme where literally they are dripping sweat during the day, lying in bed, changing sheets. How horrible for us to have to deal with all of this on top of everything else while the world keeps spinning, and you have children and you have a husband, and maybe things aren't going so great at that time anyway, and you have to handle all of this, and you do lose yourself. You who am I? Where's that person that was before?
Great. I also think what no one ever told me about, I kind of was expecting the hot flashes. I was mainly the hot flashes. I think that was what really everyone talked about. The mood swings. What I didn't expect was anxiety. What is that? Like nobody talks about. No, I had no idea. I'm like, what is all? It's not just a hot flash. It's way more.
No, it's the heart. The heart is going faster than it should be. You can't
Exactly.
catch your breath.
Right. And I mean, even in the night, right? Waking up with,
swallow.
you know, and I'm like, what's going on? So I'm like, what is happening here? And
So not fun.
I'm deep, I'm in the middle of it right now. That's right. So, but yeah, I'll tell you, that's something that I was not expecting. And also when we talk about losing yourself, when you're dealing with this newfound anxiety, that feeling of panicky, and it makes you shaky. It does.
Yeah.
Again, and I find myself often like taking these really deep breaths, right? And again, combine that with us getting older, whether it be in the world, but also in the workplace and all of these things, and in the world where it's not as we're not as noticed as we used to be, right? We're just not, being the ages we are now, and with things maybe you could pull on before, you're not pulling on anymore. So what does that mean? So when people say they lose themselves, well, what it is right now is, maybe we can look at this as an opportunity to find ourselves, really. And you got to go inside. You got to go inside. So what is it that, like, it's about the way we talk to ourselves, like, be kind to ourselves, really filling ourselves up with those wonderful books that are important, people that bring you up. Let go of the people who don't. That's the thing, right?
It's tough. We are our worst critics.
The fat, it's shaving off the fat.
we have to also give ourselves a chance to take a break and accept that this is not a fun time. We gain weight. Like 99% of us, I think, gain weight.
Section mid-tires, what is that?
Yeah.
And it's weight that you used to be able to add a few, lose a few.
It's true.
Can't do it anymore. I had to go on thyroid medication. What? How could I not? So I have to be on that for, I don't know, for whatever. I know there's things you can look into, holistic stuff, but I didn't have the time or energy to do that. It was just like, fix me, whatever it takes, give me something to fix me. But also, while we're going through this journey, I think accepting that it's not easy, it's going to be difficult. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to gain the weight. You're going to have moments often where you just want to kind of huddle into a corner and have a good cry. Do it. You're allowed. We all want to drink more. I know that I wasn't able to drink. I can't drink cab anymore. I can't drink big red wines. The acid, the burning, something doesn't sit with me, the cab drinker of the world. Try every wine. I have to stick with my Chardonnay now, which is great, but there's things that change, and we have to be prepared for them, even though they're out of the blue and they hit us. It's going to keep coming, and it's going to keep changing, and it's going to keep evolving. And when you get through the other side, which I'm at now, it's easier for me to say what I could have, would have, and should have done. At the time, during it was not an easy solve. But I think we talked about in our very first episode the little things that maybe we could do. I found clothing that was, what did we call it, loose and flowy, to kind of hide what needed to be hidden and look for a way to still feel like that younger, better looking, fitter version of myself while I was lost and looking for me.
Well, and I think too, I agree, Karen, it was also a place where I was holding on to my size, whatever, 8 clothes forever, thinking, I was going to eventually get back. And so it was finally letting go of that and just saying, you know what, I'm comfortable in whatever, getting new clothes that make you feel a little bit more, right?
Well, even the scale might not even change all that much. I mean, it does change, but just things change.
Moves.
They shift. They shift.
Amen.
So you can't necessarily wear the same style that you wore, even though it was the best thing on you then. You have to find a different way to throw a scarf on, brighten up.
True.
And I want to get back to what you said about the like feeling, finding things to wear to feel like that younger version of yourself. We got to stop doing that to ourselves. It's embracing where we are right now and being kind to ourselves, and that, you know what, it might not be the little black dress that used to be way above the knee, and but that's okay. It might be
It
a
is
little
okay.
below the knee and look just as beautiful. And
It is okay.
it's more than okay. We've earned it. We've earned this.
Yeah, and fight for it. Fight to get her back. Bring her back. Fight for her.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, it might. The body's changed like, oh my gosh, has it changed? But instead of me really beating myself up every time I'm about to get into the shower, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want us to do that anymore, because you know what? I have a daughter. I have a daughter who they're watching us, right? And I don't want her to constantly feel worried about getting older. I want her to be able to see, you know what? It can be awesome. It is awesome. It is awesome. I mean, we actually we had the privilege to have some photos done today, and we had so much fun. We were mixing and matching clothes, and it was like three girlfriends who were just like sharing each other's stuff and helping each other with our hair. And
work.
It was so much
fun. Well, the other thing is too, is is also feeling like we still have a big contribution to make. It's like this place where we're not done. I'm not done. Right? It's like I feel like we all have so much to give to each other, to our family, to the people 100%. We love, to our work.
I had the added whammy. Sorry, Beth, go ahead.
That's why this started. Finally, that's what it is about.
Well, if we can go back a couple of years during this, just when I felt like I sort of maybe was going to start to be okay with this new menopausal me, postmenopausal me, I got laid off from my career. It wasn't just a job, it was my career. It was the biggest blow out of the blue, painful, oh my God. But I thought, no problem. Karen,
I showed up at your house that day.
How we knew that was going to happen, I don't know. I remember opening the door and you just looked at me and went, what? And I was on the floor. One of those pick me up off the floor times.
Amen.
But I was so confident. I was worried and scared, but I thought, oh, no problem. I've never not gotten a job that I've applied for, ever.
Yeah.
Well, things were about to change. Yeah. That 50-something-year-old salesperson was not the same 30, 40-something-year-old. And it doesn't matter what anyone says to me, it was different. I was different. What they look for is different. What was happening out in the world was already different. And I became invisible. I did. My post-menopause brought me to an invisibility that was very difficult for me because I couldn't find my place again. I forgot who I was. I lost my self-esteem and who I was. I used to be something. That's how I was feeling. So when we talked about doing this and when we decided that we were this has literally given me new life. I mean, we have to do our hair and makeup because we're going to be on camera and we're going to do some photo shoots and it's fun, but you realize how good it feels to do things for yourself and to put yourself out there again and be just a woman, finding me again underneath, taking off those veils and having Karen come back out and say, all right, you're not the 30-year-old, 40-year-old version of it. So now you're who you are.
I'm sorry, I'm done with that. You know what? I'm good with that.
But until you can get there and accept that and realize it and go, it's okay. You know what? Let my daughter be the one to shine in the room now, not me.
Yeah, fair time.
I want to be the best version of me in this middle-aged, almost 60, headed that way. Why not? Let that be what we guide.
Like I just, there's a lot still, as we said, a lot still to this age. It's not
my gosh.
We are, again, I know we mentioned exercising. I mean, I've put on weight, obviously, and it's tough to get it off, but to move and to have that routine, and it just gets the endorphins going. And
okay, so back to what we were talking about as far as self-esteem, losing yourself, finding yourself again. Reach out, talk to other women, see what kind of symptoms, because knowing that you're not alone is so huge in this, knowing that, oh my God, I thought that was just me, the anxiety, the not being able to breathe, car washes. I was a car wash queen. I get panicked in a car wash. My sister will honk the horn and make them let her out. She's like,
Oh,
get me out
no.
of here.
Oh,
A little
no.
bit of claustrophobia. Now I'm past it. I went through
Yeah.
it. I'm better. I'm much better. But little things like that that you think are bizarre, talk to people, ask about it. Ask, did you go through that? Did you go through that? Guaranteed somebody somewhere has got the same things going on, so you know you're not alone, which really does help. And when you get there to the other side, find yourself again, find her and bring her back and bring her out with this newer, stronger, wiser edition, and let her share her wealth of knowledge, experience, feelings, love, and friendship, and that sisterhood that we talk about all the time. We're all in it together. We really are.
Absolutely.
That's
Finding your tribe, right? Finding the people who bring you up,
Yeah.
finding the people who make you smile. And yeah, that hand you need sometimes to
And
pull
if you
you.
don't have someone, reach out.
Those people are your favorite authors or your favorite characters on
True.
On a show.
or the Bachelorette or whatever it is. I mean, sometimes that's who it is, and that's just whatever you just do what makes you feel
Do
good.
your thing. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't fight it. Don't fight it.
Thank you for the topic, bringing up the question to us about losing yourself and your self-esteem and finding yourself again. We love hearing stuff like that. Let us know what else you'd like us to talk about. We probably will continue on. We'll grab one of the other questions and we'll go with it. And please, again, let us know what you'd like to hear from us, what you'd like us to talk about. Give us a little thumbs up, subscribe, follow. Facebook should be up soon. If it's not already when this comes out, look for it. And you can engage a little bit that way with us too. So thank you again, guys. It's our pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.